That's OFOKnox.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason,
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, T. Kell, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. T. Kell and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. 865-250-503 is our telephone number to the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Hope you're having a great Wednesday morning. It is 3 minutes past the top of the hour. Hold on. Hold on, man. I thought I brushed my teeth this morning. I thought I flossed this morning. What is? I think that's bacon. I think that's bacon in my teeth right there. Oh man, well, I was hanging out with the basketball team after the game, man. They had a bacon party or something, man. I got meat all in my teeth, in my toofuses. Woo. Oh, by the way, shout out to my oldest daughter who waited until 9 o'clock to tell me she didn't have anything for lunch. So yesterday I went to the grocery store to pick out some items for lunch. And guess who I ran into, Ben?
Butch Jones.
No. He took his name out of the hat of Michigan State.
Yeah, I'm sure. Give me a hint. Is he a loyal listener to the Swain event?
I don't know if he listens to the show.
Okay,
but
so it's not Rodney and Austell.
No, I saw a lot of Rodney yesterday. I'll get to that later. But the person I saw is a part of Tennessee basketball game festivities. He's responsible for the good people getting T-shirts, getting up out of their seats,
that guy,
getting hyped.
DJ AWOL.
Yeah, boy. Get it up, get hyped, get crunk, get lit, get excited.
Did you speak to him?
Yeah, I said, hey man, you do a good job. He's on the phone. He said,
Hey bro, thanks.
He said, appreciate that.
Hey bro,
And kept it moving.
appreciate that.
I don't want to put his business out in the street, but he picked up a little item. I guess it was like a snack. He didn't eat dinner or something. He picked up a snack. So I saw him at the grocery store. I thought about you. I also thought about you when I went down the medicine aisle and I saw sleep aid sign right there on the medicine aisle, and it had some things, melatonin, things like that. And I got it for you, so that way you can have a great sleep and have good dreams about Butch Jones getting a job at Michigan State. But obviously that didn't happen because Mel Tucker, in the middle of the night, kiffined Colorado. That's right. Kiffin is now a word that we use if you decide to leave after just a little bit of a commitment. Just a little bit. Not a ton of commitment. Untimely absence. Untimely departure. That is the new adjective, kiffin. So Mel Tucker kiffined Colorado. And it wasn't long ago when Mel Tucker was making comments about the transfer portal. And he said that, there's no transfer portal in the real world. Yes, there is. There is a transfer portal in the real world. Because if you're at a job and you don't like that job, your boss getting on your nerves, and you telling yourself, man, one more time. Today ain't the day. Man, one more time. If she, one more time, I'm out of here. And then you leave. You can leave anytime you want to. That's a transfer portal. If you're in a relationship, man, if he don't pick up his drawers, I'm not picking up after him over and over and over. I'm out of here if I see one more pair of tidy whities in here. You can leave. This notion that there's not a transfer portal in the real world is false. It is. College coaches, stop. Stop it. Stop with the hypocrisy. You sound silly. You sound foolish. And I heard Mel Tucker was a good dude. Really good dude. As I was trying to find information about Jimmy Brumbaugh 2 days ago, he left Colorado to come to Tennessee. Heard good things about Mel Tucker. And if Michigan State rolls up to your front door and offers you something you can't refuse, hey man, you gotta take it. I get it. But I'm over the coaches talking out of both sides of the neck. Vol Nation, we know what I'm talking about there. I'm not. It's getting old. It's getting ridiculous. There's no transfer portal in the real world.
I just don't know how
Yes,
attractive the Michigan State job is. I said this Monday or Tuesday, but I think Michigan State is very similar to Vanderbilt and South Carolina. In this, not necessarily. Michigan State is most definitely a better football program than than Vanderbilt, but I relate the two in the sense that they had these great coaches who were probably better than what, not that they deserve, but they're just better than what their expectations probably should be. Like now, South Carolina's expectations are much larger because of South Carolina than what they actually should be, especially when you consider Clemson is in the same state as them. And then Vanderbilt, James Franklin spoiled Vanderbilt fans, and now Vanderbilt fans have these ridiculous standards that they think that they should meet each and every year. And Derek Mason getting to 6 wins is not enough for them, when, in my opinion, it should be, because you are Vanderbilt. I think the same about Michigan State in the sense of I think Mark D'Antonio overperformed there, and now there are these absurd expectations because they were able to get to the college football playoffs. And I just don't think that that's a reasonable goal year in and year out when they're playing in arguably the second toughest division in all of college football behind the SEC West. They play Michigan and Ohio State every year and Penn State, and then they have a crossover with Wisconsin and Iowa every year. That's not easy. And recruiting purposes, are you going to out-recruit Michigan if you're Michigan State? No. Are you going to out-recruit Penn State or Ohio State or even Wisconsin? No. So, I don't know. I think the Michigan State job is maybe a little bit overrated. And so I'm surprised that Mel Tucker took that job because I don't see a big difference between Colorado and Michigan State. I would argue that it's easier to win at Colorado than it is at Michigan State because of the conference that you were in. So I thought it was weird to see Mel Tucker take that job. Just 'cause I kind of see it as a lateral move.
I think it's definitely a better job than Colorado. I think there's players in the state of Michigan, and not all of them want to go to Michigan. And I think if you're Mel Tucker, you got to think about this perspective too. There's really only one other black head coach in the Big Ten, and that's James Franklin. And so that could play a part in recruiting. Not saying that it 100% will, but you look at what Charlie Strong was able to do at Texas and what he was able to do at Louisville. I mean, he recruited. I mean, he did a good job doing that. And so that could work. Sometimes it can work against you if you don't know how to handle it correctly. But I think Michigan State's a better job than Colorado. Michigan State, you know, they had a little streak over Michigan for a little bit. I don't think either job is that great, but I think it's easier for Mel Tucker to win at Michigan State than it is than Colorado. Remember what we talk about when Tennessee was looking for a head coach. And one thing I was saying is just get a good head coach. Get a good football coach that's a good person, and then the support has to be there from the administration, and he can be successful. Well, you look at Mel Tucker, and if the support is there, there's a commitment towards football. And maybe that commitment is not strong in Colorado. If there's a commitment to win, help in recruiting, to give him the resources he needs to be successful, big salary pool for his coaches, facilities, things like that, then I can see why he decided to leave. But man, after signing day, a week after signing day, that's the thing that I get it for your career. I understand. You got to make a move when the opportunity is right there. But a week after signing day, Ben.
Do you think that is weird? Do you think it is beneficial for Mel Tucker or non-beneficial that Michigan State cares more about basketball than they do football? Because they are absolutely a basketball school first. Michigan State football is what Tennessee basketball is in terms of hierarchy.
Bruce Pearl didn't care. Bruce Pearl thought was there's passionate fans. That fan base has passionate fans. Period. And if we win, if we show some excitement, we show some life, we can get some of those fans to come watch us. And Bruce Pearl did that at Tennessee. Bruce Pearl's doing that at Auburn. Yep. I think as long as there's passionate fans, it doesn't matter if it's football or basketball. If you win, they'll come. There's some fan bases like they're sleepwalking. They're not. They're dead, and that's Vanderbilt. It doesn't matter who comes in there.
Yeah.
Jared Stackhouse, LeBron James, anybody can come there and coach. They won't get people there. They won't fill the seats. James Franklin beat Tennessee. Had successful seasons, and they still could not fill the stadium. That's what you fear.
Yeah, and to your point, I mean, you look at South Carolina. Dawn Staley was able to get 18,000 and pack out an arena full of fans for UConn, South Carolina. 18,000.
Leads the country in attendance.
Yep, that was the most watched women's basketball game, most attended women's basketball game this season so far.
They lead the country in attendance, man. And
because if you build it, they will come.
There's passion there, and that's a football school, I think, kind of, whatever. 865-255-03. Ben, I'm upset with you, man. You didn't give me any compliments on my new shirt I got from Alumni Hall.
Well, you
didn't notice me.
I was going to. I had about 3 things I was going to say, and then you started talking about Mel Tucker and Michigan State. So
whatever. That's an excuse.
Orange Barrel reroute. You redirected us.
I thought you knew me, Ben. Well, I like compliments.
Well,
you
just
didn't
before
notice me.
Just before the show, you were fidgeting with things across the room, and I noticed your shirt, and I thought in my head, hey, that's a really nice shirt.
Whatever, Ben. Whatever.
You didn't compliment me on my hoodie this morning.
I've seen it so many times. It's not new, but it is nice. It's Jordan. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
A place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. A place where you belong.
Member NCUA. You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain Event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. The new year is here, and it's that time for new beginnings and adventure, which may include buying, selling, or investing in real estate. If this is part of your 2020 plan, then give me a call, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Check, reroute, Orange Barrel, Chicken Parm. Keep forgetting about old Maryland in the Big Ten. Mike Locksley is also African-American coach in the conference. So now you have 3, James Franklin, Mike Locksley, and now Mel Tucker. Be forgetting about old Maryland joining the Big Ten. For what? Worst decision ever. To take L's? To take worse L's than you took in the ACC? Whatever.
So Jimmy Brumball's son's name is Legend?
Where'd you get that from?
Your Twitter feed.
I was hacked.
His first name is Legend.
Yeah, his first name is Legend.
Tennessee needs to bring him on board solely because of that.
Yeah, so Jimmy Brumball's son played quarterback. He played quarterback at Maryland, actually, and transferred from Maryland to Colorado, plays tight end. He's a junior. I think he's about 6'4", 6'5", 230 pounds. I didn't mention that yesterday, but I had it written down.
Has he done anything at Colorado?
I don't know. He's coach's son.
6'3", 230.
What I say, 6'4", 6'5"?
Oh, I don't.
6'3",
I don't know, to be honest with you. This past season, he played in 10 of 11 games, all on special teams.
He's a big boy now.
Ranks tied for 4th on the team with 7 special teams points. All 7 points earned for knockdown or springing blocks on kick returns. That's an interesting stat to put on his bio.
I thought he would stay with Mel Tucker, but I don't know now, man. He might be the next player who gets 7-year of eligibility.
Hey, Tennessee could use a tight end, like a true tight end.
He's coach's son. Just let him come to Tennessee. Simple as that.
Hey, I'll take him. I don't care that he hasn't really done much.
I want everybody, Ben. I've already made this known. Anytime there's a transfer, I'm like, let me get on here to the maps, mapquest.com, and see how far it is from Boulder, Colorado to Knoxville. Or when the 5-star defensive end, Anome, how you say his name, last name?
Animi Ayabo.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Former 5-star defensive end that left Alabama, went to Houston. He was dismissed from Houston. I mean, Tennessee is a great place for 3rd, 4th, 5th chances.
Colorado has a couple of 4-stars. And they have a punter from Australia who's number 2 at his position. A 3-star punter, Josh Watts. Last I checked, Tennessee's punting wasn't great last year. Wasn't necessarily bad, but it wasn't great either.
Rating other people's recruiting classes after a coach leaves or some type of scandal, feels like finding $20 on the street, on the side of the road. Because, like, I really feel bad about the person, or bad for the person who lost their $20. I really feel bad for them. Like, dang, man, they probably worked really hard for this. They just worked a minimum wage job. I mean, goodness gracious, they probably worked a ton of hours for this. But I'm happy for me, though. $20 in my pocket. About to blow this, baby. I feel the same way when it comes to rating recruiting classes. Like, man, dang, I feel bad for those fans. Especially if it's not like a SEC fan base. Man. I feel bad for those fans. Man, the coaches, man. But if he's good, he'll be good on my team. That's how I feel. But I didn't see anybody on Colorado's recruiting class that I was really, really, really wanting.
They have to
replace anyone we currently have, Ben.
They have a 4-star running back who is ranked 171st in the country from New Orleans, Ashad Clayton. Christian Gonzalez is a 4-star safety.
I'm good.
Jason Harris is a 4-star weak side defensive end.
Great name, but I'm good.
They do have an awesome outside linebacker who is named Mr. Williams.
Tempting. Just because the first name was awesome, but I'm good.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest.
I'm good.
These 4-star signees, they have 3 of them. It's hard to believe that they had committable offers to SEC schools.
Mel Tucker, man, getting it done.
If you're going from New Orleans to Colorado or Texas to Colorado, I'm sorry, but you probably didn't have many committable offers to
Who knows?
to SEC programs.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? 865-255-03. What I do know is that Santiago Vescovi was cooking last night.
He was cooking up the bacon for y'all to eat after the game.
Like there's a couple different ways you can cook bacon. You know, you can get a sheet, put some aluminum foil or some parchment paper down on the sheet of the cookie sheet, lay the bacon down real nice and flat, put it in the oven. Cooks evenly, right? Real easy. But the way I grew up baking bacon, sometimes it was in that cast iron skillet. And you put the whole pack in there. And the bacon is all turned different ways. Half of the bacon on the same slice is crispy, the other half is rubbery. That's how Vescovi was making bacon last night. He had a chef hat on, and he was at the stove whipping it up with the iron skillet. Like he was really, really, really working yesterday. And I asked the question yesterday, who was guarding Mason Jones? That answer is Mason Jones. Mason Jones guarded Mason Jones last night.
Devontae Gaines was terrific
He did a good job
on Mason Jones.
So Mason Jones was out of rhythm the moment he stepped on the floor. He's a starter. He got in trouble for talking back to the coach, and he came off the bench 3 minutes at the 17-minute mark, and he just wasn't the same. But kudos to Tennessee. I want to give all the credit to Tennessee, but Mason Jones guarded Mason Jones too at times too. Some really bad shot selection, but Devontae Gaines did a great job, especially on the charge.
Eric Musselman's explanation as to why Mason Jones did not start was silly to me. He was asked, and he said, "Well, we've lost a couple of games. We've struggled to come out of the gates recently, so we thought Mason could provide us a spark off the bench." So you're going to put
that's not true.
You're struggling as a team, and you're going to put the SEC's leading scorer, your best player, on the bench to start the game?
That's not true. The commentator at the beginning of the game mentioned the fact that Mason Jones and Eric Musselman got into it in their last game against Missouri. Mason Jones was talking funky to his coach. I don't know why coaches be lying like this for no reason. For no reason. Like it's not even necessary. He's your best player. We know why you didn't play him at the beginning. It's okay. It's your first year. You're building discipline. You want to let people know that you're the boss. I understand it. I would do the same thing. He's challenging authority. You have to put him in his place. But come on, man. Don't make yourself sound silly by lying about that.
I was looking at him like, really? That's really your explanation?
Come on, man.
The SEC's leading scorer, and you are going to put him on the bench to try and to spark things for your team?
That's not the biggest question, though, Ben. The biggest question is right up there with who shot Tupac and Biggie. Where's the helmet that Shot Tuttle fell on? Where is the Titanic ship? Is it still intact underneath the ocean? Like, these are serious questions. But there's one question that ranks right up there with those three, and that is, how in the heck was number 33 on Arkansas's basketball team able to go 11 for 16 from the free throw line, actually being Arkansas's best free throw shooter when you look at number of makes and attempts? How in the heck was he Arkansas's best free throw shooter last night when it looked like he was shooting a medicine ball?
Jimmy Witt Jr., transfer from SMU.
He was giving us buckets.
Mm-hmm. He's good. Averages 14 points a game, I believe.
How? I don't know the answer to that.
He drew 10 fouls and was 11 for 16 at the free throw line.
Who taught him how to shoot free throws? He was making them, Ben.
It did not make sense.
He was making them. Like I hit one of Spice Adams' laughs at the beginning, but then it was going in.
It looked like he was pushing a medicine ball, as you said on Twitter.
Like he was shooting, and no offense to a female playing basketball, but it looks like he was a 5-year-old little girl playing basketball. Like my 4-year-old pushes the ball up there to the rim like that because she's not strong enough. It just looks like he wasn't strong enough to push the ball up and shoot the ball normally. That was weird, but hey, man. If it goes in, that's all that matters, right?
That's right.
I mean, 69% from the free throw line, 11 for 16. And he was Arkansas's best player last night. Is Arkansas good?
Yes. They're missing Isaiah Joe, and you can tell.
Man, it was like almost 30 points.
I thought Tennessee played its most complete game of the season on both ends of the floor. Made life really tough for Arkansas. I don't think Arkansas is good. I don't think they're as bad as they played last night. They really miss Isaiah Joe.
I don't want to take credit away from Tennessee, but I was sitting there going, is this team is not good right now.
No.
They were better at the beginning of the season, and I don't know if one player makes a difference in 30 points almost. I think Vanderbilt can be Arkansas right now. Vanderbilt has improved, and we better be ready to go against Vanderbilt. But Arkansas looks like the worst team in the SEC last night. They look terrible, Ben.
Mississippi State looked pretty bad in the second half against Ole Miss.
Yeah, but this is 2 games.
From start to finish, Arkansas definitely did not look good. And you go back and you look at their non-conference schedule, they didn't really play anybody tough. But they were able to stack up a lot of wins in non-conference play against average at best basketball teams.
Arkansas got owned by Missouri, and then I don't know what they did last night up in here, but they got ran off the court.
They stunk it up. That's what they did.
Right now, Arkansas is the worst team in the SEC. Right now. Not taking anything away from Tennessee, because Jordan Bowles making shots. He's making plays. Santiago's making plays. He did a good job of taking care of the basketball for the most part. But, man, Arkansas is they're butt.
They're pork.
They are, they're butt. They're terrible.
Butt booty terrible.
They're not good at all. Hour 1 brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. HappyHiller.com.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event. Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
Man, Alumni Hall got this this shirt. I encourage you to go and get it. It's orange. It has a cartoon Smokey flying through the air with a basketball, getting ready to dunk it with his tongue, hanging out. MJ, Kobe. It's my favorite shirt on this planet. My favorite Tennessee shirt on this planet. My favorite Tennessee shirt on this planet right now. It is it. Around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street. 42sd.com is the website. Website design, print design, and logo design. If you're looking to up your branding game in 2020, you do that with 42nd Street. Ben, what you got?
Florida State and LSU have agreed to a neutral site series. They will play 2 games against each other. They will play in New Orleans September 4th of 2022, and then they will play at Orlando's Camping World Stadium on September 3rd, 2023. Florida State and LSU, that should be a fun matchup.
I don't care.
Why?
I'm tired of neutral site games.
Yeah.
You're robbing your fans in Tallahassee and Baton Rouge. You're robbing businesses of a home game. That's what you're doing. Think about the businesses in Baton Rouge that had probably record years when they go check the books this time of the year around tax time. Probably had record years because of the success of LSU. And you're taking a home game away for a neutral site game. Listen, we've been there. Remember when Dave Hart and Butch Jones teamed up, they tried to play every game outside Knoxville to try to save money. But you're robbing your local business.
And your fans.
And yourself, really, because you're losing a recruiting opportunity. Recruits can't go to neutral site games. So
I thought they could go on the sideline.
You can't host recruits like that, like you can at home.
It's definitely not the same, but I'm pretty sure recruits can visit or attend the game, something along those. It's not the same. It's the overall point.
I'm a 4-star, man. I had a great time hanging out in Orlando. Yeah, the stadium I'm never going to play in again. Yeah, man. The facilities was great. Man, it was awesome.
It only benefits those kids who are in Orlando. Like for LSU, if they're recruiting 1 or 2 players in Orlando, then it benefits those 1 or 2 players. But even that, it's not the same as those 2 from Orlando traveling to Baton Rouge and seeing a game in Baton Rouge.
It's a cop-out. That's a weak cop-out excuse that coaches use. Well, we're trying to recruit there in Orlando. You are in Louisiana.
That was Butch's excuse for playing the Bowling Green game Nashville.
You're 2.5 hours away. We've been recruiting Nashville for decades. That's a cop-out. It was a lie. It was a cover-up for wanting to play that game neutral site to save money because of the tax here in Knoxville. It was a lie. It was a lie. That's all it was. It's no different than anybody else using the kids as an excuse. What about the kids? But the kids, though, that was a Mark Emmert move. We just care about the kids, the student athletes. It's an excuse. It's a cover-up for something else. You can recruit in Orlando if you LSU. You don't need to play there. Tennessee can recruit in Nashville. You don't need to play in Nashville against Bowling Green to recruit in Nashville.
If Tennessee is going to play a neutral site game for recruiting purposes, go play in California. Go,
that makes more sense.
Go play in Pasadena.
But you can play home and home, which I am in favor of.
Yes.
Will I watch the game? Yes. Is it great that they're playing the game? Yes. But I'm a little over neutral site games. I want more home and homes.
And I think the good news is it appears that most college football officials and school officials are tired of the neutral site games as well. It seemed, I know that
I'm over.
This was announced, but last week Florida and Cal Berkeley, they announced a home and home.
There we go.
So it's not the same level as Florida State, LSU.
Yeah, man. I want an opposing team to come to my house and my fans throw stuff at you. And then next year, we'll go to your place and then your fans can throw stuff at us. See how that works?
Unless you're Vanderbilt and you don't have friends. Speaking of Vanderbilt and looking at SEC basketball last night, there were 4 games, Kentucky and Vanderbilt. They kicked off the night. Technically, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, Arkansas were all playing at the same time. But Kentucky, they did not look good in the first half. Vanderbilt led 36-27 at halftime. Ultimately, Kentucky scored 51 points in the second half, outscored Vanderbilt 51-28 and won 78-64. But you mentioned Vanderbilt last segment. They are improving. It is pretty obvious that they are improving. I thought John Calipari had a cool quote in regards to Jerry Stackhouse and his ability to coach, referring to the fact that he is teaching basketball the right way, pinpointed Vanderbilt's ability to run the pick and roll with Saban Lee and Scottie Pippen Jr. and guys like that on their team. So I like Jerry Stackhouse, and I also like that he's probably not going to be here much longer. I'd be surprised if Jerry Stackhouse is at Vanderbilt for 3, 4, 5 years. New athletic director. He's only at Vanderbilt because of Malcolm Turner, who is no longer the athletic director.
Yeah.
And I think Vanderbilt was a stepping stone job for Jerry Stackhouse in the first place to begin with. So Mississippi State, they had an embarrassing loss to Ole Miss in the Egg Bowl version, or the basketball version of the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State was winning 34-33 at halftime, and then Ole Miss exploded for 50 points in the second half. Breon Tyree scored a game-high 40 points, a career-high 40 points, and 27 of his 40 points came in the second half to lead Ole Miss to an 83-58 win over Mississippi State. LSU beat Missouri 82-78. Missouri was also up at halftime and blew a second-half lead, and LSU snapped its 2-game losing streak. And the game that we all care about was Tennessee-Arkansas. And to highlight some of the performances from last night's game, John Fulkerson had his flu game. Rick Barnes said that he had not been around the team since Saturday, since the Kentucky game. He had not been feeling well, and it got really bad, and he had not been around the team, did not practice, did not do anything leading up to the game. He did not go through shoot-around. He did not go through warm-ups prior to the game, and he walked out onto the court following the national anthem, and he proceeded to put up 14 points, 8 rebounds. He blocked a shot. He picked up a steal, only had 1 turnover, was 4 of 6 from the field, 6 of 8 from the free throw line. He played really well, had a nice putback slam, had a nice block. He played really well in his flu game. Jalen Johnson got the start in place of Uroš Plavšić, and Rick Barnes was asked about that after the game and said it was strictly production and matchups, and that they have told Olivier Camois and Uroš Plavšič that if they are not going to produce, they are not going to play. So Uroš played 3 minutes and 58 seconds. Now, Olivier probably played his best game of the year. He actually looked comfortable in a game last night, had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, was 6 of 8 from the free throw line, 2 of 2 from the field, blocked a shot, and played 18 minutes. He looked really good. Yves Pons looked pretty good as usual, 12 points, 4 rebounds. Barnes said after the game that Pons wasn't feeling good either. And Lord help us if Pons picks up what John Fulkerson had and isn't allowed to play this weekend against South Carolina. And then Jordan Bowden, I thought he looked comfortable as well. 7 of 16, 16 points, 6 rebounds, played great defense, 3 assists, was locked in from the get-go. Made a couple of tough threes, and then you mentioned the play of Santiago Vescovi earlier. So really nice team win for Tennessee. Outscored Arkansas 40-18 in the paint.
5 guys with double figures. One guy with 20 points. You know what I noticed about Jordan Bowden, and probably about a week or two ago, I compared Jordan Bowden to Jerry Gantano because you know, the skill was there, is there, but he was in his own head. And I felt that way about Jared this season and since he's been here. And when he thinks too much and presses too much, you know, you make mistakes. I thought Jordan Bowden was doing a little bit of that too. But I can't say that about their game against Kentucky or Alabama because those are some good-looking shots that were online. They were long. They just rimmed out. Jordan Bowden shouldn't have jump shots where they're to the right or to the left or short. That's when you know something's not right because he has a beautiful stroke. But Jordan Bowden reminds me of a wide receiver that you got to get the ball to early in the game. With like some quick screens or hitch route or reverse, wildcat. Just get the ball in the receiver's hands early because you don't want the receiver to check out. You want to keep the receiver involved in the game, keep them going. If you have a really good receiver and you don't throw the ball to them in the first quarter, he's frustrated. Good luck getting him back. I thought Jordan Bowden making some shots early was huge for this team. And I don't know if it's just Arkansas just being that terrible or was it truly the difference. But I want to see Tennessee maybe do the same thing in the next game and see how Jordan Bowden plays. Let's run a set for him and get him to the basket, free throw line, or get him an easy shot and get him going early. And let's see how that works for Tennessee. Tennessee has a awesome opportunity out in front. The schedule is tough. The remaining games are tough. There's no doubt about that. But anytime there is a potential problem or issue or challenge, big challenge just means big opportunity. And that's the case here for Tennessee. Yeah, it's a big challenge. They play some really good teams. This is the toughest part of their schedule. But if they win some of these games or win these games, it's a huge opportunity for them to not even be on the bubble, but to put themselves in position to make the tournament. Now, we saw the football team start 1-4 and run the table and win 8 games. So, I mean, it's possible.
Now, the football team also got to play the likes of Vanderbilt and teams like that.
Shh! I'm trying to make a point.
The basketball team plays at South Carolina this Saturday, which will be a tough game. South Carolina's playing fairly well. They get Vanderbilt at home next Tuesday. Vanderbilt is improved, as you mentioned last segment. Still a game that Tennessee should win. And then next Saturday, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, they play at Auburn for a 11 a.m. local tip. Then they go to Arkansas that Wednesday, back home against Florida, at Kentucky, finish the season at home against Auburn. Their last 5 games, at Auburn, at Arkansas, home against Florida, at Kentucky, home against Auburn.
And that's why I think Josiah is resting up.
You think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We ain't going to risk you against Arkansas. We can beat you without Arkansas. They're butt.
I don't think last night was a true indication of Arkansas. They're better than what they played last night.
I saw them play against Missouri, too. But pork butt, like you said, right?
Yes. You get it? Because they're the Hogs.
Terrible, man. They were terrible. They're the worst team in the SEC right now. Attaboys coming up next.
Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
Do you have sloping or uneven floors, foundation cracks, or a leaning chimney? Do your windows and doors not open properly, or are there gaps where the floor and walls meet? Don't worry, B-Dry offers approved foundation repair solutions like steel I-beams, helical piering, epoxy injections, carbon fiber applications, and more. Make sure that your home is on stable ground with B-Dry. Call them at 865-588-0454 or find them online at bdry.com.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Attaboy.
It's time for Attaboy here in the Swain Event, and I'm giving an Attaboy to Swain Event listener Rodney in Austell. Rodney came to the game yesterday with his friend and his father, but before going to the game, he met me at the gym. We played some hoops, he went to the game, and then after the game, he drove all the way back to Atlanta. So I want to give Rodney an Attaboy, and I'm glad he texted in this morning to let me know that he actually made it. So he gets the Attaboy. I can give Rodney an Attaboy, Kenna. He deserves it.
You can give anybody you want an attaboy or an attagirl.
That was a good job by Rodney.
Did Rodney's jump shot look like the Arkansas player Jimmy Wett Jr.'s free throw shot?
No, Rodney got a nice jump shot.
Better than yours?
Rodney has a nice jump shot.
Who won? Y'all been talking up this game for months now. Just don't sit there and be nice. Who won the game?
Rodney has a nice jump shot, Ben. That's not why I brought up Rodney and Attaboy. I don't want to brag or boast or talk trash right now.
So we'll bring him back up during for what?
No. But he gets the Attaboy today. We played a game of 21 and we all was tired.
Rodney texted in this morning and Said, I'm officially retired.
Man. Woo. Breathing hard. The kids on the other side of the gym was laughing at us. Look at him down there. Look at him. Yeah, man. We played a game. Had a good time. There's no winners or losers, Ben. We're all champions of life because we got cardio in and we extended our life. See that? We're champions of life.
You're ridiculous.
All three of us. All three of us. Oh, man. 865-255-03 B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. All champions of life. That Arkansas free throw shot. It's going in. It was going in. I mean, it doesn't really matter unless it goes in. I mean, if it goes in, it doesn't matter. Who cares how it looks? I mean, it's not like 69% is great for a guard, but at least it went in, I guess. 865-255-03 B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Santiago Vescovi, man. Was getting buckets yesterday. He was amazing. Every shot he takes, I think it's going in. I think it's going in. Every time he shoots it. Every time. Jalen Johnson playing some defense. I heard Jalen Johnson on that block. You didn't see. He was at the game, Ben. You didn't hear it. But on one of Jalen Johnson's block, he said, "Give me that blank."
I like it. Finally, some aggression.
I was like, "Oh, Jalen Johnson, yeah, okay, I like that. I like that, Jalen Johnson." And he's athletic. He's made a ton of blocks this season. A stat that kind of stood out to me during the game was Tennessee is 8th in the country in blocks. 8th in the country in blocks. I like that stat. I like that stat. Who we got there on the hotline?
Rodney.
Rodney, good morning.
Good morning, family.
You okay this morning, brother?
No.
Me either, man.
I ain't even gonna ask.
My knees hurt.
I ain't gonna ask. My right knee, my left foot hurt.
My neck, my back, my neck, and my back.
All of it. It was great to spend some time with you. Ben, you're right. Swain's got to jump, and it's deep.
I tried to tell you.
Hey, man.
Yeah, you tried to tell me. Yeah, you tried to tell me. But, yeah, we look real bad out there. And it's all on tape.
It is on tape, man. Tell your dad don't be posting that.
Wait, it's on tape?
Man.
Yeah, his dad recorded us playing 21.
I need this tape.
Don't put that out there, man.
No, man, that's officially retired with me.
I'm going to cut up a highlight tape and make it look like a recruit's highlight tape.
Man.
Oh, well, we'd be about two. All three of us would equal 3 stars.
Yep. 1 star apiece. Yeah. Rodney and his friend, man, we were playing 21. And they were double teaming me, man. Like, out by the volleyball line. Like, y'all, come on, man. Rodney?
Hey, man. The competition is there, but the body's not willing.
No, no, it's not there, man.
It's not there, man. But we made it back in. Vescovi showed out. No matter, that's the best game I've seen him play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm a man of my word. Swain won, and that's all I can say about it. And I'll get off and listen to you for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Rodney. Appreciate it, man.
Did you hear the pain in his voice as he admitted that?
He's a competitor. You know Rodney was a competitor because, like, he really was trying at moments, but the body just said no. And we were tired, too, man. You can't be double-teaming people in 21. I mean, you can. When someone gets past 15, you better start double them. I get it, but it was kind of annoying.
So Mel Tucker tweeted 3 days ago that while I am flattered to be considered for the head coaching job at Michigan State, I am committed to Colorado for #the build of our program. It's great athletes, coaches, and supporters. #unfinished business. #go Buffs. #relentless. #culture. #the build. 3 days ago. 4 days ago now. While I am flattered to be considered for the Michigan State job, I am committed to Colorado. He flipped He flipped faster than Jay Hardy.
Man. He flipped faster than Coach Pruitt hiring new coaches. Man. See, what had happened was Michigan State brought a blank check. They brought a blank check. I mean, hey.
Here you go. You fill it in.
We would do the same thing, too. Hour 2 coming up.
Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown turnover backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong, better rates and better service. After watching last night's game and watching Tennessee's second half of the season, or the season after January, so from January to this point, and then watching Santiago join this basketball team mid-season, I don't think we've really given enough credit to how remarkable he's been. I mean, joining a team midseason, being a point guard, which is difficult in itself. That's something that it takes time with your head coach, watching film, knowing your teammates, where to drop the ball to them. John Fulkerson is a big that can catch the ball running full speed on transition. Like, he can do that because he's athletic. But you don't know that unless you play with him. There's some big guys, you don't give the ball to them in a full sprint. You give the ball to them where they don't have to take a dribble, so they don't travel. But you learn the tendencies of your teammates. Or, you know, Jordan Bowden loves to curl on certain down screens, and you know that he's going to curl it, so you throw the ball to him in a place where he can catch it and make a play. You find out these tendencies about your teammates after playing with them for a certain amount of time. I remember watching a interview. Isaiah Thomas, who works for NBA TV, NBA.com, TNT. It was Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars. And though that duo is one of the best duos in NBA history. Bad boy Pistons, one of the best guard combinations we've ever seen. But they were sitting there having a conversation with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. And it was just really cool to hear them talk about how they grew together and learned each other's tendencies throughout playing together. Santiago just showed up.
January 5th.
And he's playing the way he's playing. I just think it's remarkable. And there's times when we felt like, he'll be a good backup point guard next year. I don't know. I don't know, Ben. I don't know if we can just put Santiago on the bench next year.
In my little hoops notebook that I've been writing lately for RTI, somebody asked me, or maybe it's in the mailbag we did at RTI, but somebody asked about next year's starting lineup, and I sat there for 10 minutes trying to figure out, and granted, it's a long time between now and the start of next season, so who knows how it'll shape out. But, I mean, I truly think Santiago is going to be the starting point guard. Because I think Josiah is better off the ball. I think Keon Johnson is going to prove to be better off the ball. I think Jaden Springer is going to be better off the ball. And those three, and Victor Bailey, who is sitting out, the transfer from Oregon, he's better off the ball. I mean, those four matched up with Santiago in the backcourt, I mean, that's tough. And what Santiago will be able to do to create scoring opportunities for those guys, I want Santiago on the floor. If he's doing this as a freshman, 8 assists in a conference game as a freshman, a month into playing after arriving in this country and joining the program over midway through the year is remarkable. And imagine what he can do with a full offseason under his belt when he's in shape. On Saturday, he said he couldn't breathe at times because he was just giving so much effort to try and defend against Kentucky. What is he going to do when he's in shape and he has a full understanding and can do much more than what he's doing right now? I'm not taking him off the floor.
No, man. That was my question for touchdown turnover was Santiago Vescovi should be the favorite to be the starting point guard next year.
I say touchdown.
Should be the favorite. And touchdown turnovers brought to you by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong. Better rates and better service. And I say touchdown too. I mean, I'm looking at the moment he put on a Tennessee uniform in his first game. Yes, he got you 18 points, but he had 9 turnovers. And then against Missouri, he's in double figures again, but he had 5 turnovers. And then against South Carolina, he was in double figures again, but he had 7 turnovers. It's 7 turnovers. Man, that's a lot of turnovers in his first 3 games. And then the turnover started going down, which is pretty remarkable. 3 games, and then his 4th game, in 25 minutes, he had 2. Against Vanderbilt, it was a little sloppy. He had 5. Kansas, 0. And that's more impressive than what he did last night because of their guard play at Kansas. They have great guard play at Kansas. And Kansas is a legitimate national championship contender.
Mm-hmm.
Texas A&M, he had 2 turnovers. Mississippi State, 3 turnovers. Alabama, 1 turnover. Kentucky, 3 turnovers. And last night, he had 3 turnovers. He's Tennessee's primary ball handler. And he's playing Alabama 38 minutes. Kentucky, 39 minutes. And then Arkansas, 30 minutes. Let everybody else play. We beat them down too much. And he had a little bit of foul trouble too. But this is probably the best story in the SEC, in my opinion. I said, let me think about it. Unless I might not have to moonwalk here. Take it back.
I agree with you. Pat Bradley. Pat Bradley's the former Arkansas player, right?
Yeah.
I always forget his name for some reason. He was on SEC Now following the Missouri LSU game last night, and he and Peter Burns, they were recapping the night of SEC basketball, and Pat Bradley was just blown away by what Santiago Vescovi has been able to do over the last month. And I do think, I don't know this for sure, but I think he said exactly what you just said, that he is the most intriguing, most fascinating storyline in the SEC right now, because guys should not be able to do what he is doing.
Are you saying I need to contact Pat Bradley and get my credit?
No. Because it's your own thought. You didn't know Pat Bradley said that.
I don't care, man. I want my credit. This is media 2020.
Well, technically, you would have to give him credit because he said it first.
I didn't know he said it first. So technically, I said it first. I want my credit, Pat Bradley. Give me my credit.
If you want to really put your brain in a pretzel this morning, sit down and try to figure out Tennessee's starting lineup for next season and who you are going to put on the bench. We know John Fulkerson and Yves Pons will be starting, assuming Yves comes back. I'm of the belief that Yves will have a decision to make at the end of the season.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I think he'll leave, but I do think he'll have a decision to make.
You said this to me during the break yesterday. You was like, man,
You disagreed.
You've got a decision to make. I was like, yeah, he got a decision to make on what classes he's going to take his senior year.
I'm telling you.
That's his decision.
Yves is going to have a decision to make. He is popping up in more and more mock drafts for a reason.
You gonna take?
He is an NBA player.
You gonna take classes in the humanities, or you going to the ag campus, or you taking classes on the hill? Where are you taking your classes at, Yves?
Yeah, but Yves Pons and John Fulkerson will be starting for Tennessee next year.
Mm-hmm.
Probably your 4 and 5. I know neither one are your traditional centers or 5 position.
I think those will be your
post players.
Yeah, I can see that. Unless Kimwa takes off from this game against Arkansas.
But even that, I don't think Camwan's going to play over Pons or Folke.
I don't either.
So there's 2 spots. I think Santiago is your starting point guard, unless he just takes a step back. But I think he's not going to take a step back. I think he's going to take a tremendous, huge, big, whatever adjective you want to use. I think he's just going to take off and take a huge step over the offseason. So that's 3. And from that point, it's Josiah Jordan-James, Keon Johnson.
I like Josiah at the 3.
Jaden Springer.
/2. And then Jaden Springer at the 2. That's what I like so far.
I mean, Devontae Gaines.
Okay. You heard what I said.
I know. I'm just saying that Tennessee has options, and it's nice because right now Tennessee doesn't really have a ton of options.
Devontae Gaines plays hard. He's athletic. He's long. He reminds me a lot of Stacey Augmon back in the UNLV days, back when he played with the Hawks. Don't worry, Ben. Just Google it.
I know that name.
Mm-hmm. But he reminds me of him. Super long. But there was times yesterday I was like, Devontae, you in the game, man. You playing. You on offense. Look at where the ball is. The ball hit him in the face. I forgot who threw the ball. I think Pons threw him the ball after a loose ball, and we got the ball. And then Pons threw Devontae Gaines the ball, hit him in the face because he wasn't paying attention. I'm like, dude, pay attention. Well, he's a freshman.
He was running to his spot for the set that they were about to run.
Yeah, I should be on the ball. The ball should never hit you in the face like that.
That's fine.
Yeah. But he's a freshman, and he's going to make freshman mistakes. But I see the potential with him.
He's going to be good.
He is a defensive problem because he's long, he's athletic, he can alter shots, he can block shots.
He's a pit bull.
He's
not scared of anybody.
Yeah, he's gonna be a problem.
Mason Jones was trying to get in his head. Mason Jones was running his mouth, and Devontae Gaines did not shy away. He started running his mouth, and in fact, he said after the game that the referee came over and told both of them to quit yapping at each other. So I love the pit bull in him. He reminds me of the defensive version of Lamonte Turner when Lamonte stepped on campus. Like, he's just not scared. And,
I like Devontae Gaines.
Let me get your thought on this. Yesterday, as I was writing, I compared this basketball team to Rick Barnes' second basketball team, which was the team that had freshman Grant Williams, freshman Jordan Bowden, freshman Jordan Bone, freshman John Fulkerson, and then sophomore Kyle Alexander and sophomore Admiral Schofield. and I compared the two teams because with that team that Barnes had in his second year, you saw the potential of the team. You saw the potential in Grant Williams, in Jordan Bowden, in Bone, in Fulkerson, in Admiral, in Kyle, and you knew that they just needed time to develop, and that they took their lumps their freshman season, that 2016 season. They
17 season.
They took their lumps, but they played a ton of basketball that year. They kind of grew together, and then that next year they were ahead of schedule, won the SEC, played in the SEC tournament championship game, and then made the NCAA tournament. This team reminds me of that team, to where they're going to take their lumps this year, but you see the potential in Santiago. You see the potential in Olivier, in Devontae, and Drew Pember at times. Even with Urosh. Urosh has a long ways to go, but I don't think Urosh is going to prove to be a bad player for Tennessee. I do think at some point he is going to be a good player. And even Rick Barnes on Saturday said that he is battling the same thing with Urosh that he went through with Kyle Alexander, trying to get them to just play tougher and understand what they are doing. But even with that, Barnes said that Urosh is further along now than where Kyle was at the points in their career. So you see the potential with this team. And then on top of that, you're adding a Jaden Springer, a Keon Johnson, a Corey Walker Jr. I mean, I really think the two teams are similar in the sense of they're going to grow together, and Tennessee has the makings of a really good basketball team as soon as next year, potentially.
I think this team is further ahead, further along, because defensively the culture has been set. The expectations have been set. This is a really good defensive team. They're 8th in the country in blocks, so they're athletic, they're long. Defensively, we're one of the best teams in the conference. It's sometimes offensively we're stagnant, and we don't have more than one true point guard. And Tennessee only had 11 turnovers yesterday. I can see the similarities, for sure. I can see it.
That, and I think that Tennessee, when you look at next season, is going to replicate what West Virginia is currently doing. If you remember, West Virginia came to Knoxville last year after losing Javon Carter and another important guard, and they were terrible last year. And now they're 14th in the country. They're 4th in the Big 12, and they are a team that can make a run in the NCAA tournament. But they had that transition year to where they lost a lot of seniors, a lot of NBA talent, a lot of production. They went through their transition year. They had to play a lot of young guys. They developed, and then now they're making a lot of noise. I think Tennessee is going to follow that similar path.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. No, I agree. I think West Virginia is a really good example because they were bad last year. I mean, I remember laughing at him because he was so disgusted with his team. And
hated his
team.
He
didn't want to coach him. He's like, oh, my gosh, this team stinks. Kind of like Eric Musselman at times. He just stopped coaching last night. Oh, can't wait to get rid of these dudes. But this year, West Virginia is one of the best teams in the country. So, yeah, I can see that with this basketball team. I like how we're playing defensively. I like how athletic we are around the rim. And you don't have to have a bunch of 6'10", 6'9" guys to win. I like the team that we're going to be next year, but I like where we are right now. I mean, I like how hard these guys have played 2 games in a row and the challenge that's in front of us. I want to see how we respond. Get Jordan, James back, see what happens.
Yeah, I keep calling it a transition year because
it is transition.
The expectation that Barnes has now gotten Tennessee to is to make the NCAA tournament at minimum every year, and it still doesn't look like they're going to make the NCAA tournament. I still think that come end of the regular season when they play Auburn and head into the SEC tournament, we're going to look back at the week of losing to Texas A&M and Mississippi State as that being the week that cost Tennessee in terms of making the NCAA tournament.
Swain Event Hour 2 continues after this.
guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf, then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Good morning, Swain event listeners. It may be cold outside, but the local real estate market is hotter than a Times Square Rolex. If you have questions or are ready to move forward with buying, selling, or 865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
If you aren't following the Swain event on Twitter, then are you even on Twitter? Hit that follow button. It's the right thing to do.
How about this? At Rivalry Thursday, tweeted out a highlight video, high school highlight video with, Mark Packer and Austin Price, Pilot, Prep Sports, Prep Extra at VLT. And Packer says, "Hey, Swain event. You up for joining Austin Price and me in the booth for this?" Is that an invite to do some high school football this year, Ben? Did you catch that? Was that an invite?
But even better, he didn't say Jason Swain. He said Swain event, and last time I checked, I'm included in the Swain event as well.
I mean, yeah, you might be.
I'm kidding. No, it sounds like an invite to me. That'd be really cool to see you on Rivalry Thursday.
On TV?
We don't really talk about it a ton, but I do tune in to Rivalry Thursday. Check out Austin Price and Packer and Eric Kane, and they do a great job. And high school football is fun, especially the rivalry games. So it'd be cool to see you on there.
Is Mark Packer saying that he wants me to be on my Booger McFarland?
Somebody did say you look like Booger McFarland on signing day.
That person was a liar.
He is you don't look anything like Booger at all.
That person is a liar.
So the only y'all's skin is the same color. That's the only similarity.
That's about it.
that is it. And I guess y'all don't have hair. That's it. But even you have stubble. Booger has nothing.
That's about it. We just some brothers who bald. That's it. That's the only thing we got in common.
But would you and Austin Price actually call the game? Because I feel like it'd be just 3 hours of you two picking at each other.
I don't know, man.
I'm kidding.
I don't know.
It'd be cool to see you on there. I hope it happens.
It's time, man. It's time for me to, kind of expand and get on my DJ Shockley a little bit. Start calling some games and getting on my John Gruden. More like John Gruden, not like Booger. But hey, if I can get a gig like Booger, then I guess that'd be great. But Booger gets crap from fans because he says some pretty obvious things during the game, like, hey, the team that gets 10 yards will get a first down, stuff like that. And then he probably won't ever be able to live down the whole Houston, I think it was the Chiefs. Was it the Chiefs and Houston game?
No, that game was in Houston. It was against who did the Texans lose to? The Titans ended up. I can't remember.
The Texans beat.
Who did the Chiefs beat before they played the Titans? That's who.
Well, they beat the Texans.
Oh, the Texans did win. So whoever the Texans beat, I can't remember.
The Texans beat somebody to play the Chiefs.
You're right. I just can't remember what team they beat.
What team was that?
Was it It wasn't the Colts. Colts were terrible this year.
No, it wasn't the Colts. But anyways, Booger, when the Texans was driving, somebody was driving.
I'll never forget
We're
this.
messing it all up, but we're not messing this part up.
No.
It was third down, and Booger said that you should run a draw and then get up to the line of scrimmage and then spike it.
On fourth down. Buffalo, thank you.
Yes, Buffalo. That's
Bills.
Right. Josh Allen.
He said run a draw
and then
on third down and then spike it, which would have been fourth down.
That wasn't Booger's best moment. I'm pretty sure I'll have a moment like that.
I just don't understand because Booger was so good when he was on the SEC network. I mean, he wasn't calling games, but his analysis of the league when they were doing SEC Nation and on Feinbaum and radio interviews, he was so good. And
he's awesome.
Yes,
it's just that job is hard, man.
Yeah.
That job is hard.
Yeah,
not anybody can do it. It's hard. Period. That's why I don't try to, I don't really make fun of those folks or complain about them commentating because that's hard. That's really hard. It's one thing to be able to break down games after the fact, but during the game, that's not easy. So I give Booger a ton of grace, man. Ton of grace. Who was a transfer from Oregon? Someone who watches practice said he might be better than anyone there. It's one Victor Bailey, right?
Yes, Victor Bailey Jr., who is a two guard, and he has done a great job of defending Josiah Jordan-James and guys like that in practice and getting them ready for the games. I think he's going to be a contributor. I don't know to what extent. I don't know about him being the best player out there during practice, but he's going to be a really nice contributor next year. Rick Barnes has always spoke highly of him.
Vols Made Texas says an 18-13 record after losing as many people as we did is pretty solid. I know it's not the result that most Tennessee fans will be happy with, but once you lose 75% of your team production, it's hard to bounce back from that.
And I imagine that stat that he said about 75% production is without Lamonte Turner.
Yeah.
So if you factor in the loss of Lamonte Turner, the fact that in the middle of conference play, you are playing without Josiah Jordan-James. For whatever reason, Jordan Bowden has been in this extended offensive slump. You had to fight tooth and nail to get Uroš Plavšič eligible, and he hasn't been the contributor that we anticipated. I mean, 18-13 is somewhat of an accomplishment.
Last night, Ben, Jalen Johnson threw Uroš the ball in the post, and maybe Rick Barnes got on Jalen Johnson because it was an air pass instead of a bounce pass. I guess you want to throw a bounce pass when you're throwing into the post from the sideline, but it was an air pass, and the Arkansas player just came right around Uroš and stole it. And I was looking more at Uroš like, hey, man, you got to hold that seal. You're 7 foot, man. You got to hold that seal. But Rick said something to Jalen. Don't know if he got onto him, but Uroš came out of the game after that. So he's hitting the wall, man.
Yeah.
He's hitting a wall, and you know what he needs though? I thought about this yesterday. I'm glad you brought it up because I almost forgot about it.
You're welcome.
This is what we need. I have the solution for Uros. I have the solution. We have the Tennessee jet. We have the Tennessee plane. So we can go make this happen fairly quick. Rick Barnes or whoever, it's a basketball staff member, we need to go pick up John Henderson. Go pick him up, bring him to Knoxville. Let John Henderson dress out in a football uniform. And John Henderson needs to let Uros just slap him. Just like when John Henderson used to prepare for football games in the NFL. Just let Uros just slap the dog mess out of. Just whoosh, backhand, 5 fingers, what did they say to the face? Slap, all of that. Just and let Uros just get all that aggression out. Just let John Henderson be Uros' slapping bag. And I think that will help Uros. Be more aggressive. Be more aggressive. Be meaner.
But if he gets the aggression out, how is he going to be aggressive in the game?
It's deep down in his pit of his stomach, Ben. We got to get it out.
See, I think we need to do the opposite. We need to get John Henderson to slap Uros and tick him off.
No, we don't need to do that. Then Uros will be asleep for like 2 weeks. He'll be have a concussion.
Well, we can get like a 50%
it's
John Henderson.
It's deep
slap.
down in there. It's deep. We got to get it out. It's deep in his pit of his stomach. We got to help Uros get it out, the aggression. And I think being able to slap John Henderson a couple times will help him. John Henderson won't head back. He won't do it.
That's true.
He won't do it. This is what we need to get done. Go pick up John Henderson, man. Let Uros slap him around a little bit. It ain't gonna bother John Henderson. He's used to it.
Andy Staples with the tweet of the morning. Quote tweeting Bruce Feldman's breaking news that Mel Tucker is taking the Michigan State job. Hey, look, there is a transfer portal in the real world.
Ooh. Sure is. I saw an article from a Colorado paper. There it is, Denver Post. Can Colorado Buffs fans ever trust Mel Tucker the same way again? Who cares? He ain't coming back. He gone.
I wonder if they wrote that before he took the Michigan State job.
He gone.
Because he said that he had declined the job.
February the 10th. It was published yesterday at 6:33. So, yeah, I guess it was. No, it was updated.
Two days ago.
It was updated. Yeah. So, yeah. I guess when he talked to Michigan State, people felt like they couldn't trust him, which I think that's kind of silly. Colorado, chill out. You Colorado.
Right.
Just be happy you got Mel Tucker. Be happy. If you're Michigan State, do you trust Colorado? I mean, do you trust Mel Tucker? That's a better question, I guess. Because he left after one season. What if a SEC job opens up, let's say South Carolina, and Mel Tucker gets a phone call from South Carolina? New facilities, commitment to winning. Michigan State better put a great clause together in that contract to make sure Mel Tucker stays put, because that's a fit for Mel Tucker in the SEC.
We need to talk about Colorado coming full circle after the break.
It's time, man. We need to get it going. It's time. And Evolve Legacy got a commitment from Tennessee. An offer from Tennessee.
Yes.
An offer from Tennessee. Hour 2 brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the happy face truck today.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team. Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill, or call 865-693-5400.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
You agreed to hang out with your friend, maybe go to the mall, maybe go to the game. But then your other friend invites you to go on a cruise. Everything's paid for. You can leave your wallet at home. What do you do, Ben?
Venmo them.
Let's say your Tennessee friends like, hey man, you want to go watch Bad Boys 2? Bad Boys 3, that's right. Hey, Ben, you want to go watch Bad Boys 3? Your Tennessee friend. And then your Bama friend's like, hey, man, you want to go to the Bahamas on this cruise ship and you don't have to pay anything? What do you do, Ben?
I go to the movies because I don't want to hang out with my Bama friends.
Yeah, right. You go on that cruise and you say, sorry, guys, I got a kiffing you. I got to leave you behind. This happened 2 weeks ago when my good friend George had tickets to the Texas A&M game.
I remember this.
I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to the game with you, George. Yeah, man, let's go. And then a good friend Danielle, who has a box at Thompson Bowling Arena, was like, hey, I got 5 tickets for the box. Do you want to go to the game? Ooh. But I told George I would go with him.
See what had happened, George.
But Danielle offered me 5 box seats and I can take my family. And it's in a box. I've never been in a box before.
Yes, you have.
No, not basketball.
I thought you were in the box for a Lady Vols game.
No. My wife and daughter, they've been in the box for a Lady Vol game, not me. So I've never been in a box before, a basketball game. I was like, I don't know. All right, sorry, George. I got a kiffing you, man. I got to change my mind. I got to leave you out to dry. I'm gone. In the box, baby. Ooh, the air's a whole lot better up here. I can see. Hey, there's George down there.
Looking down on us peasants.
Mel Tucker, Kiffin, Colorado.
After
signing day, Ben. A week after signing day, he left.
As Alex in North Carolina said on the text box, we don't believe industry guys should be coming up with terms such as kiffining.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I can't mention
I
that.
still don't even really know what that even means.
I don't know what it means.
Can somebody please explain? Or can Evan? Was it Evan? No, it's Nathan. Nathan. Can Nathan call back in and explain what an industry guy is?
I don't know. I don't even know what that means.
Does that mean you carry water for guys in the industry?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Chip Payne says Mel Tucker, Bobby Petrino, Colorado. Yeah, I think Petrino is a good one too. I mean, he left a week after signing day. Guys, a week after signing day? That's terrible. That's terrible. Think about this. The Colorado signees, they don't know who their next coach is. And they can't even go anywhere else because signing day is over. Ben, no one is more screwed than those Colorado signees.
I don't know. I think there was another coach that just did this.
I mean, D'Antonio retired.
Yes, the Michigan State.
He retired, but that's different.
Well, I don't think so because he retired the day or two after signing day, right after those kids signed.
Before.
But I think
the day before.
Yeah. Was it the day before? Yeah, it was the day.
It was the day before.
Yeah, it was the day before, which is ridiculous. But even for the kids that signed, I mean, they'll be able to do what Chris Steele did last summer.
What was that?
Transfer and be able to play right away. I guarantee you, if anybody transferred, they'll file for a waiver and state that Mel Tucker left, and then they'll go transfer elsewhere. They'll be able to play right away.
Chris Steele was a 5-star who was one of the best players at his position. Anybody is taking Chris Steele. Not everybody's taking these Colorado players.
Somebody will. I'm not saying a place like Oregon or USC will take these players or the Michigan State players, but I guarantee you if they applied for a waiver, if they wanted to transfer and cited that it was because their coach left, I guarantee you they would be granted immediate eligibility.
Most of the players on the 2020 commitment list, if they call Tennessee looking for a spot, we would treat them like the kids treated Forrest Gump in the movie when he got on the bus.
We wouldn't take their phone call.
Seats taken. Can't sit here. Nope. That's what stinks about this for Colorado, those recruits, is they're not necessarily all that good to be able to go anywhere they want to, like Chris Steele, who left Florida and was a 5-star player. Some of those players, they had to go to Colorado. And everyone has their classes filled. That's the problem here.
That does stink.
They just don't have any room. It's not about being good enough, but if you've hit a limit of guys that you were going to sign this year, you can't take any more.
But wouldn't they count as transfers, so you could count them towards next year's class? Because technically they are transferring from Colorado to wherever, or Michigan State from wherever.
You can try that, but still.
Didn't Chris Steele end up at USC? Or did he
Yeah.
transfer to Oregon and then USC, or USC to Oregon?
I don't know. I think he went to USC. I think he went to USC. But here's something that can happen, and it can all work out.
USC. But he went to Oregon first, right? Or was committed or something along those lines. I don't know. His recruitment was silly.
This is something that can happen. Those Colorado commitments, the signees, I mean, they could go to Michigan State.
Yeah.
I mean, Mel Tucker could call them and say, hey, you want to play for me, right? I mean, this is a better place for us. How about you just come to Michigan State?
I think Chris Steele committed to play at Oregon after announcing he was transferring and then flipped from Oregon to USC.
You gonna try to find the answer, huh?
I just like to be right.
I understand that. I get it. Jake says, if I'm not mistaken, Colorado got an ESPN top-ranked commitment from a D-lineman. With Tucker gone and us hiring their D-line coach, do you think Tennessee would be interested if he got out of his LOI? Also, what are your thoughts on the former five-star that left Alabama and got dismissed from Houston? Well, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the former five-star that left Alabama and got dismissed from Houston. We shaking your head for, Ben?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
He's a problem child.
Do you know what happened?
I know what was reported that happened.
What was it?
According to Matt Zenitz, he heard that it was a combination of factors that led to him being dismissed from the team. And I say him because I don't know how to pronounce his name. We think it's Iabi Anoma. Tardiness, skipping class, clashing with teammates, insubordination, etc. One source said some of the same issues he dealt with at Alabama.
Did you see his drill tape when he was at Alabama? Did you see the way he got around those bags?
I did.
Saw that? Did you see that video in the hotel room when Trey Smith was a senior at the All-Star game and someone stole something from him? And Trey Smith put those hands on that young man. Did you see that? You remember that video?
Mm-hmm.
I think Trey Smith and company can keep this young man together, and then James Banks. I think it's worth it. I mean, listen, we're trying to go out and recruit Zach Evans, so I mean, I think it's worth a shot. It's Jeremy Pruitt. Come on, man. Jeremy Pruitt can take anybody in. He can take anybody in. I think it's worth the risk. You know he's a 5-star, right?
Former 5-star.
Yeah, former 5-star, but he has 5-star talent
and 5-star issues and 5-star headaches.
Yeah, but that happens.
I do agree with you with the whole Trey Smith will keep him in line. And Tennessee has gotten to the point now to where they do have the locker room to where if he'll fit in, then he'll fit in. If he's doing the same issues or going through the same issues that he went through at Houston and Alabama, then he'll sink and you can just let him go.
I don't know if Tennessee has the numbers to do it or not, but
they could count it towards next year's class.
Yeah, the only reason we kind of mention it because there's a tie because Pruitt came from Alabama, and I'm pretty sure he recruited this young man. So I'm sure there's a relationship between someone on our staff with this young man, and maybe it'd be worth it. Maybe it won't be. I don't know, but we could use another edge rusher. That's for sure.
I know I kind of shook my head at the thought, but as long as it isn't anything egregious that he has done at Alabama or Houston. Gotten in trouble with the law, it doesn't hurt to bring him in if you think you can help him, if you think he can be a productive football player, because, again, he'll sink or swim.
No violence against women.
Mm-hmm.
And, I would prefer him not try to be the Kentucky football player who thought he was Nino Brown selling drugs out of his dorm room. I would prefer to not bring anyone who did that. But absolutely no transfers of guys with violence against women. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Greg Sankey put a policy in place that the SEC will not take any guys like that anyways. So it's worth. I think it's worth the phone call conversation.
And real quick before we go to the phones, because Vaughn Birmingham didn't hear everything I said. It's not him not going to class. It's the clashing with teammates and the insubordination that worries me. But again, he'll sink or swim. And if you feel like you have a good locker room, then why not try to bring him in?
Yeah, that's a problem. You know,
not the skipping class.
Yeah, we can deal with the whole skipping class thing, but not getting along with teammates, you know, that's not ideal. All right, who's on the phone?
We have DR Vol and then Dave Tona.
DR Vol, good morning.
Good morning, guys. In the words of Booby Miles, if you want to win, get that 5-star in. Unless he's got coronavirus, get him to the hill and we'll work it out.
That's right. I'm with you. I agree, man.
I want to win. Guys, did y'all play, I know Ben play games some. Do y'all play 2K any?
I do. I've been 2K heavy the last month or so since football season ended.
Hey, me and you both, man. So, you know those guys that are like 54 or 60 overall, that terrible shot they have?
Yes.
Do you think that's what that number 33 would look like on 2K?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something, Swain, you appreciate this. Scottie Pippen did not win 6 championships for somebody wearing number 33 and shoot like that.
Being from Arkansas, that's for sure. When I first saw it, I was like, he's hurt. Like there's something going on, like maybe a wrist or a shoulder, and I was like, maybe he's hurt. But then when he went up to the free throw line the second time, like he wasn't like grimacing in any pain or anything, and I was like, whoa, this is his shot. Wait a minute, it looks like he's shooting a medicine ball, but it was going in. It's not fair.
Yeah, he's a D1 athlete. I mean, his shot looked worse than Lamonte's when Lamonte had a career-ending injury.
Correct. When Lamonte had one shoulder, Lamonte's shot looked better than that.
Oh, it was painful to watch. Guys, like Ben's a media guy and Swain's an industry guy. Do you think that Jalen Johnson is a Comcast guy? Because he's so in and out. Like, I can't get a read on him. Some nights he looks like he can't play D1, and then last night he balled out.
He's definitely a Comcast guy. Yeah, definitely. Because yesterday, it was like an outage in the area. It was weird. It just wasn't me. It was an outage that affected a lot of people. But it was back. As soon as the show ended, it was back. As soon as it was like 10 o'clock, everything was fixed. How about that?
Yeah, imagine that. Just like Jalen. He was fun to watch last night. Guys, I know y'all got to cut another call after this, but yeah, let's get that kid on the hill. Hey, unless he's got coronavirus, then just leave him. See ya.
I'm with you on that one. Or any violence against women, which at that point he would not be welcomed by the SEC, period.
Or if he's selling drugs like the Kentucky player.
Yeah, he can't have you doing that. That's not smart. Who's next?
Dave Tona.
Dave Tona, good morning.
Swaino, look at you, man, with your new shirt, styling and profiling.
Popping the collar this morning.
Man, I'm telling you. So how did that phone call go to the previous coaches about getting their apparel?
I haven't made the call yet. I'm kind of nervous.
Man, you better do it. They're going to be giving that stuff away to someone else?
Yeah, I think Chris Runt probably already gave it away.
Probably so. Probably threw it away.
Yeah, I hope not.
So I got a little bone to pick with you. You talking about the coaching changes, and this, in my opinion, and I'm not going to start a long conversation, this is a situation where we've got to trust Pruitt because these guys may be good coaches, good recruiters, and as Swain says, they're younger. But
what's the bone? What's the bone?
What's that?
What's the bone you got to pick?
You talking about, Tracy Rocker. I think it was Rocker. He's 53, right?
Yeah, 53, born 1966.
And you was talking about, he's 53, but he's a cool 53.
Yeah,
he's a cool 53.
He's cool. Yeah, he's a cool 53, man. I met Tracy Rocker. He's cool, man.
So you making it sound like 53 old.
He 53.
Pap's 53.
Yeah, but Pap ain't recruiting 17, 18, 19-year-old young men either.
But I could, because I'm cool.
I mean, you probably will have plenty of time since you ain't got no job.
Man, I'll tell you what. When I get up there to Knoxville, I'm going to Dead End before I come to see y'all, and I may smear some banana pudding on you.
Oh, man. I don't know if you can recruit, Dave Toner. I don't know,
I
man.
can recruit.
I don't know.
I can recruit. Like, give me some of that money you got in them deep pockets. I'll do the same thing those other recruiters are doing.
No, we don't do that around here, Dave Toner. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's only at Alabama.
We don't do that around here.
In Georgia.
Or in the SEC. We don't do that here. Only at Maryland.
Hey, Ben.
Yes, sir.
This playback, the invite for Swain,
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to be included in it.
I'm down.
Yes, sir. Well, gentlemen, I will be up there Friday. Y'all give me a call before Thursday night.
Do we have your number?
We do. I have it written down. It's at my house, and I
Ben-
keep forgetting to bring it to Swain.
Ben didn't give it to me
I
yet.
will text it to Swain as soon as I get back home today.
Sounds good,
All
Dave
right.
Toner?
Yes, sir.
All right, my friend. Thanks for the phone call. Wasn't a shot at Dave Toner. I mean, come on, Dave Toner. You 53, man. You're not going to be on this trail recruiting like Shelton Felton. You're not going to be able to do what Shelton Felton can do. He's 39 years old. You're not going to be able to do what Jimmy Brumbaugh is able to do at 43 years old. You're not going to be able to do that. It's okay. It's okay, Dave Toner. It's all right, man. I'll buy you water at Dead End Barbecue, and everything should be okay. 865-250-503, B Drive Waterproofing Hotline. In case you missed it yesterday, I guess I'm talking to Titans Bill. Jimmy Brumbaugh was brought in from Colorado. Worked for Mel Tucker. Mel Tucker left to go to Michigan State. And then Shelton Felton, 39 years old, former high school head coach in the state of Georgia, who was part of Pruitt's original staff as a quality control person on defense. Left to go to Akron to be the outside linebackers coach and defensive line coach 2019, and he returns. And you almost caught yourself, Ben. You almost caught yourself.
Doing what?
What tight end coach that's well known recently just made some moves?
Oh, John Lilly.
John Lilly.
Going from the Browns, or he's the former Browns tight ends coach, and he's going to North Carolina to be the tight ends coach.
He's going to North Carolina to replace Tim Brewster, who is joining Florida, which is a good move by Dan Mullen. Tim Brewster's good. Also, John Lilly is really good. I remember when he was talked about in connection with Tennessee, he's regarded as one of the best tight end coaches in the game. And Ben had a little small lapse as a normal Tennessee fan. And it's okay. It's natural. We all do it. What you say, Ben?
I asked you if you think that if Jeremy Pruitt wishes he would have waited to announce Joe Osovet as tight ends coach.
And my response was no, because the theme of these coaching moves for me is get guys that you can work with that can handle you as a coach. Pruitt is not easy to work for. So I don't know if John Lilly and Pruitt know each other. I don't know if they've worked together before. Joe Osovet knows Pruitt. He can work for Pruitt. He can handle Pruitt. He's done it for 2 years, so he knows what to expect. So there should be more staff chemistry. That's the thing for me. Staff chemistry. These guys working together. So, yeah, Joe Osovet doesn't have a big name or whatever, but Brian Niedermeyer didn't have a name. He wasn't even a coach on the football field. But he made a name for himself by what he did at Tennessee. Sometimes the name doesn't mean anything because we went out and paid $800,000 for Chris Rump because of what he did in recruiting previously. We paid a lot of money to Tracy Rocker, what he did in recruiting previously.
At other stops.
Expecting to get that same level of production on the recruiting circuit. And Tennessee may or may not have gotten that. Sorry, Chris, man. Still let me get those clothes, those Tennessee clothes, though. Don't be mad at me for saying that. But sometimes the name doesn't always mean everything. You get somebody new in here, they could be Brian Niedermeyer. They could be David Johnson. No one really knew about David Johnson coming over from Memphis, but he came here, made a name for himself, and now he's at Florida State. So for me, it's about staff chemistry. Joe Ossovet knows Pruitt. Pruitt knows Joe Ossovet. John Lilly is one of the best tight end coaches in the game. There's no doubt about it. Well respected at every single level. But it's about fits, and I like where we are right now as a staff. Hour 3 coming up.
The Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com. For what is coming up on the Swain event.
B-Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call B-Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. B-Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners, financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, B-Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call B-Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at bdry.com.
It's your boy, Big Will, from Old Ben Franklin Motors, Alcoa, Tennessee, 911 Louisville Road. Yes, it's the holiday season again. Uncle Sam season, y'all. Income tax time. It's the holiday. So bring your last check stub or your W-2 to 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee, Old Ben Franklin Motors. Come see Big Will. And we're going to give you a free vacation if you buy a car. Bring your W-2 or your last check stub. Like I said, the 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee, Old Ben Franklin Motors. Ask for Big Wheel. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Guess what? You know we're going to get you approved. Call me now, 865-980-8216. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Set up your appointment and we will get you approved. Turn down for what?
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
Hour 3 here in the Swain event is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. These are some easy for what's today, Ben. We didn't have to look far for these. So what you got today?
Well, first, Mel Tucker gets a for what for being a hypocrite. I don't blame him for taking the Michigan State job. It's a better job than Colorado. But don't make the comments about the transfer portal, about how there's not transfer portals in real life when you just entered the coach's transfer portal and took a better job. You're just proving your point of why proving against your point of why the transfer portal can be beneficial, because kids can find better opportunities, just like you found a better opportunity for you and your family at Michigan State than Colorado. So Mel Tucker gets it for what for being a hypocrite. But I'm going to Nashville for my other for what, home of Volstorm, there on West End. A fight broke out at a local grocery store in Nashville, leading to a food fight after a 15-year-old girl appeared to believe a cashier was talking about her. An all-out food fight at a Nashville grocery store caught on camera is making its rounds on social media. Amanda Cook remembers thinking, "Is this real life?" Thinking those words to herself as a jug of juice flew past her in line at the grocery store. Once the juice started flying, I was like, oh, this is good. She caught the juice, among other flying grocery items, all on video with her phone. Maybe ketchup, bread, bread. She said a fight broke out at the Inglewood grocery store Monday night after a 15-year-old appeared to believe a cashier was talking about her. She came back into the store with another woman. It escalated real quickly, Cook said. She watched in disbelief as the contents of a bystander's grocery bag were chucked across the checkout counter. It created literally like a grocery fight. Cook was waiting in line with her 3-year-old when a fight broke out between the cashier and two customers. The customer threw the juice first, and then the cashier reached down and got the groceries that the man had already bought and was throwing them back at the customer.
How do you start a fight in the grocery store? I mean,
hey, she thought the clerk, the cashier, was talking about her, and she went outside and she got somebody, brought her back in with her, and started chunking juice. What is the one thing in a grocery store that you would not want to be hit by in a food fight? Because I think of, like, what if this was a jug of juice and it hits you square in the head? That's going to hurt.
Probably a frozen turkey.
That would hurt.
Yeah, that would hurt. That's like a rock.
But is there like a food that disgusts you that would like gross you out or anything like that? I think
chitlins.
Wet cat food would, and even dog food. Wet pet food would gross me out a lot.
Good thing you don't have any cats.
I don't like cats. I don't like cat food.
I'm giving them for what to. There's 2 accounts yesterday. 2 fake recruiting accounts. One hit Tennessee, the other hit Ohio State on Twitter. And these recruiting accounts posed as either player personnel or recruiting coordinators at the 2 schools. The one associated with Tennessee, or tried to be associated with Tennessee, was an account to emulate former Tennessee's player personnel coordinator Drew Hughes. And the Twitter account was Coach L. Hughes for Luke Hughes, but it used Drew Hughes' picture. And that in itself is for what worthy. But this account went further, and this is the disgusting part of it all. This account asked for highlight films and recruiting tapes and things like this, and tons of high school players sent in their tapes. And when high school players private messaged this scam account, this account asked for money. And so now you have a situation where high school athletes are paying $20 to this fake scam account. And that's where it gets disgusting for me. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's not cool at all. You got your 5-star players. You got your 4-star players. You got the 3-star players. You have players out here that's going to get legitimate offers from big-time programs. But you got kids out here that want to play at these programs, and they're not physically good enough right now. They have to send their tapes in. They're the ones that have to show or give more effort into being recruited than some of the other players. They have to go to camps. They have to be proactive, communicate with the school. And for someone to think this is funny, to joke around about a young man's future and his dreams, it's kind of disgusting.
It is. And
it happened in Ohio State as well. And you can say whatever you want to say about Tennessee fans or fans of college football, but everyone banded together yesterday. I saw Georgia fans, South Carolina fans, Ohio State fans, Tennessee fans, fans of different schools coming together to report this stuff. This was disgusting. So, attaboy for everyone coming together. For what? For these people who thought it was cute to make scam accounts to try to take a high school player's money. Just sad.
Pathetic.
Just sad.
Apparently the account changed the profile.
Yep.
And its name.
Twitter, what are you doing? You should have shut this account down hours ago. You can't say something mean to somebody, or you get your account suspended. But this account is still active. I don't get it. What are we doing, Twitter? What are we doing? Can't call somebody an a-hole without getting suspended for an hour or a day. But this account is out here scamming kids for money. And the account's still active. I don't get it. 865-250-503. Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Stay with us.
The event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Then look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. All of their bottles and tumblers are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the tumbler market. New this year are their stemless 12-ounce tumblers, perfect for repping your team while enjoying your favorite wine. They also have new 3-in-1 jackets to use as a koozie for a can or bottle, or you can pop a lid on it and use it as a 12-ounce tumbler or coffee cup. Be sure to check out everything Game Time Sidekicks has to offer at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Game Time Sidekicks, helping fans show your colors and carry your team with unique gear you will actually use. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Hour 3, powered by Low T Center and LowTCenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. Ben McKee, Jason Swain. Let's get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individuals.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Going to ask you guys if you know a little bit more technology than I know, but anybody that's lost their digits, their fingers, is there any way that they can use the Twitter or have a Twitter account that they'd be more functional? I don't know anything about that, but what I'm saying, I called Big Orange Unit, Jamie, and talked to him a good little bit, and if he could get on and could use the Twitter account because of the loss of his fingers, he can't text like we would. Any way that anybody knows that someone like that could get a Twitter account and be able to interact with all fans?
No, I don't know. I don't know about that, Turkey Man.
Well, I don't either. But I felt I felt bad because I asked him. I said, "You're on Twitter," and then he told me that, and I thought, well, darn, I hadn't thought of it that way. But with all the technology out there, there got to be a way. And so I was going to throw it up the flagpole there, and anybody's got any economical solution to the problem or a direction where he could be a part of the Twitter and involve family that way, I'm sure it'd be a blessing to him. But anyhow, anybody gets a chance to get that number and give him a call and talk to him, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. I'm going to call him back and kind of keep up with him myself. But anybody got ideas, run a flagpole.
All right. You got it, Turkey Man.
All right, buddy. Have a good one. I'll get out of here.
See you, Turkey Man. 865-255-03. Yeah, I'm not sure how you would deal with that. Not really sure. So I saw this article yesterday. I thought it was pretty awesome. So Peyton Manning's nephew, Arch Manning, doesn't do interviews, and he's not accepting any college scholarship offers at all. When Arch Manning's 7-on-7 team went to go compete at LSU, he was in 8th grade going into his freshman year, and the LSU coaches were all over him. All over him. Would happen anywhere probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I find it really cool that the Mannings, who are like, what, football's first family?
Probably.
They're handling this, they are handling this recruiting stuff, I think, the way they should. What matters is that Arch continues to get better. And when the time comes, not now as a freshman or a sophomore, but when the time comes, okay, we can accept an offer because we can actually go somewhere. We can actually go to college as a senior in high school. We can actually start thinking about where we want to go. But there's no point in a school offering a young man as a freshman, according to the Mannings. Now, I do understand the benefit of being the first school, if you are a school, to get in with a young man and be his first offer. I understand that. But these are the Mannings we're talking about here. They've seen it. They've seen it all. They've lived it. They played at a high level. Peyton's one of the best ever. There's no reason for Arch to even accept the college scholarship right now. There's no reason. And I think it's great that he's not doing any interviews. Why you want to talk to him right now for?
In an article from the New York Post, says that we haven't heard from Arch Manning. It appears the teen prodigy is being protected, as unlike most kids his age, he's not on social media, according to Sports Illustrated, and has never been interviewed. The Manning family wouldn't comment about Arch to Sports Illustrated. They're very private and protective of Arch. John Georges, who owns The Advocate and The Times, told Sports Illustrated, as much as they tried to keep a lid on it, there's a buzz. Certain people know how to raise thoroughbreds. The Mannings know how to raise athletes. Arch currently has 0 scholarship offers because he and the family turns them all down. He did reportedly meet with LSU head coach Ed Orgeron last month after the Tigers won the national championship. Cooper, like Eli and Peyton, was a top high school prospect and committed to Ole Miss before spinal stenosis ended his career.
He's 15 years old, and I think it's great that the Mannings are handling things this way because what they're trying to do is hype him up to be better than Peyton Manning and Eli and raise expectations so high that he's going to fail.
And Grandpa's not helping because Grandpa, a.k.a. Archie Manning, he's probably a little ahead of Peyton and Eli as a freshman. That is what Archie told the Indianapolis Star last fall. He's probably a little ahead of Peyton and Eli.
But that's not. I don't think he's not helping. I mean,
well, I mean, for a family that, I think it's hyping
but Archie's
him up.
the one who talks. Like he does the talking out of the family, and like he can say that, but it's our responsibility to not take it and run with it. That doesn't mean that he's going to be better than Eli. It doesn't mean he's going to be better than Peyton. He's just saying, like, at this point, when both guys were 15 years old, that Arch is a little bit ahead of Peyton and Eli. We got to do a better job of not hyping it up and making him seem like he was Jimmy Clausen coming out of high school and compare Jimmy Clausen to LeBron James. I remember that.
You think logically. Most fans do not. And Archie knows how most fans think, which is why I think he is throwing gas on the flame. It's clear that
how does he know?
It is because he's been around it for decades.
Does he know how stupid fans can be on social media?
He should.
Why should he? He's not on there.
And it's not just on social media. It's just fans in general. Fans overreact to everything. It's part of being a fanatic.
But if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? I mean, if he's not on social media, does he hear the fans make dumb comments and hype Arch up? Does it matter if he never hears it? That's all I'm saying. Like, the fans may have their opinion, but Arch is not on social media. I doubt Archie is on social media, so he shouldn't hear it.
Archie is raising the expectations for Arch when he makes the comment that he's probably a little ahead of Peyton and Eli as a freshman, because now people who are going to take it and run with it are going to think, oh, well, Archie's going to be better than Peyton and Eli because Archie said that he's probably ahead of Peyton and Eli as a freshman, and they take it and run with it. Now the expectations are going to be through the roof, and as you just mentioned, at that point you're setting him up to fail because expectations are going to be so far through the roof that it's going to be nearly impossible to live up to those expectations.
Right. Archie didn't say he's going to be better than Peyton and Eli. And again, I understand that I'm a little bit different. He didn't say he's going to be better. He said that at this point he's a little bit ahead. That doesn't mean that he's going to be better.
But fans take that and run with that.
Yeah,
and Archie,
that's not Archie's fault.
in my opinion, Archie should know that fans are going to take things like that and run with it, whether he's on social media or not. But how? He's been around football for decades.
That ain't Archie's fault.
That's throwing gas on the fire, in my opinion.
Didn't say that he was going to be better than Peyton and Eli. He said that at this point he's further ahead. If people take that and say, oh, well, he's going to be better, that's because they came up with that. They didn't go by what Archie said.
That's my point. I'm not saying that Archie said that Archie's going to be better.
But I'm saying
than
that's
Peyton
not his responsibility to either not say it or say it.
I'm not saying it is either. But my point, no, it's not. My point is he should know that people are going to take it and run with it. He should know that. As long as he's been around football, he should know that fanatics don't think logically, and they're going to take comments like this and run with it.
Why should he care?
I'm not saying he should or not. I'm just saying if the family has an agenda to keep a cap on or a lid, as this person who covers athletics there in New Orleans, if the family is trying to keep a lid on it, a lid on Arch Manning from expectations blossoming and the hype being through the roof, then Archie isn't helping by making that comment, in my opinion.
I think they're trying to manage the hype. I don't know if you can put a lid on it because there's video, there's social media, there's recruiting services, ESPN, Rivals, 247. You're not going to put a lid on it. But if you're the Mannings, you can manage it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they're trying to do. No social media. He's not doing interviews. He's not accepting offers. They're managing it. But Archie has always talked. Even when Peyton Manning was going through, his problems with, being accused of taking, illegal drugs. Archie was talking. Mm-hmm. When Peyton Manning was dealing with the whole cult to the Broncos, or when Eli was dealing with getting benched, Archie talks. Archie has been a voice for that family for so long. He talks. And so what he said, he didn't say that Archie's gonna be the best Manning. If folks come to that conclusion, it's because they wanted to, not because it's what Archie said. Because Archie didn't say that. He just simply said that he was further along.
I just hope Tennessee has a chance with Mr. Arch Manning.
Tennessee, Duke, and Ole Miss, right?
Apparently LSU.
LSU?
I wonder who Arch is growing up a fan of. I wonder, is he obviously lives in New Orleans, so is he growing up an LSU fan? Is he growing up an Ole Miss fan because of his dad and Eli and his grandpa? Or has somehow Peyton pulled an all-time coup, whatever the word is?
Coup.
Yes, thank you. Coup. And gotten him to be a Tennessee fan growing up? Or does he pull kind of in all three directions?
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting because his dad obviously went to Ole Miss, uncle went to Ole Miss, but Peyton, who was better than everyone in that family, went outside the box. Mm-hmm. So, what happens there? Then, hey, will Coach Cut still be coaching here in about 3 or 4 years? I think he will be, but you got to think that Duke will be in play because of their relationship with Coach Cutcliffe.
Yep.
Coach Former should still be around, so maybe Tennessee has an opportunity. But I thought the article was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just because most families where a kid gets an offer as an 8th grader or 9th grader, you're just so flattered to get it. And the last thing you want to do is alienate yourself by declining an offer. You don't want to decline the offer, then the school decide not to recruit you when it is time as a junior or senior to get recruited. So most families are scared, so they just take it and just happy. No, managers are like, no, we know you'll be back. We're not ready for that right now. Our focus is Arch being the best quarterback that he can be and getting better. And when the time comes, he'll do social media, he'll do interviews, he'll accept your offer, but now's not the time. I love it.
I do too. I like that he's not on social media and not really doing interviews. And as you said, when the time is right, he'll be doing interviews. And if he does live up to the hype, he'll be doing interviews for a long time.
Speaking of offers, Caden Martin. I hate doing this, but you kind of have to. Caden Martin is the son of T. Martin. Mm-hmm. T. Martin played here at Tennessee, won championship, quarterback, now is a wide receiver coach. And the reason why I hate doing that is because these young men have their own name. They have their own legacy, their own life. But Caden Martin got an offer from Tennessee baseball a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. Other schools have offered Caden Martin. Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss did. I want to say West Virginia offered Caden Martin too. And I'll just be honest, it's a little weird to see T. Martin tweeting thank you to Lane Kiffin. I just think that's a little weird. And I'm pretty sure that was a little awkward when you work in the same building as, like, your boss has decided not to offer your son yet, but Lane Kiffin has. A little awkward. But good to see Tennessee offer Caden Martin and maybe took a little bit of awkwardness out of the building there when it comes to Caden Martin. He is just a sophomore, so there's plenty of time to continue to develop and get better. What I know about Caden Martin is he's a heck of a baseball player, and baseball looks to be in his future, maybe more than football, unless that's changed over the last couple months. But he's a lefty, plays Knox Catholic, wears 17. I saw where Amari, his brother, tweeted out, he was really happy that Tennessee offered Caden Martin. So that happened yesterday.
And he had some cool comments to VolQuest last night, saying that Tennessee has always been a bit of a dream school for me. I've watched all the highlights of my dad from when he was there. Knowing what he did and the records he set, it helped me set goals for myself. I've always wanted to come back and bring back that legacy he left here at Tennessee. It's been nice here in Knoxville. Everyone has welcomed me with open arms. It's really cool to see how my dad has affected people here. And you mentioned that you hate saying that it's the son of T. Martin. Last night, when I tweeted out that, hey, Caden Martin picked up an offer from Tennessee, I hated typing out the son of T. Martin, but it is relative information that piques the interest of many. So you kind of have to. But
are you meant to clickbait?
Yeah, I guess in a way. I imagine there were some who saw that, and if I had not said, and obviously a million people are tweeting about it, but if they had seen my tweet and I had not included that, I'm sure there were some that maybe it would not have clicked that it was T. Martin's son.
Yeah.
But he was asked about maybe feeling the pressure of following in his father's footsteps, and he said that I really haven't felt the pressure of who my dad is, to be honest. I'm primarily focused on being the best version of myself and winning games for my teammates. My dad essentially is a tool. Having him to know what college coaches are looking for and what I can improve on mechanically has been really beneficial. And then he talked about, since I play baseball as well, I didn't get as many reps this season in football as I needed, but I thought the season went well overall. We didn't make the state championship, and that's the goal, so that was disappointing. He threw for a team-high 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns, and also rushed for nearly 400 more yards on the ground and 9 rushing touchdowns. So Turkey Man is called back in and would like to double dip.
All right. Turkey Man, welcome back.
Hey, well, thanks for taking my call again, guys. Hey, one thing, when you was talking about Archie, talking about Peyton and little Arch, I believe I seen a documentary about that when Archie was really not going to allow Peyton to participate in football, the contact-wise, till a certain age. I can't remember. So that might be one of the things that he would be ahead of him because, you know, how things go, that a lot of times they'll let other things get a little ahead of the time, you know. So he may be, that might be one thing he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, there's a plan. I mean, there's a plan put in place. And when you have someone who has done it, you know, Eli and Peyton, and then, you know, obviously Archie, and then you have all the resources. I mean, this is setting your kids up for success. I mean, I think it's no different than, you know, you work as hard as you can, you make a lot of money, but you make that money to put your kids in private school, to give them an advantage. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's why we do what we do. It's why we work so hard, is we want our kids to have it better, have it maybe a little bit easier as far as like the path they have to take. You don't want to do it for them. They have to, you know, live their own life and understand the value of hard work. But if you had to put in 250% and it was hard for you just to get the same opportunities as someone that just put in 100%, wouldn't you want to make it easier for your kid? Absolutely. You absolutely would. That's why we here as parents. At least I hope so. So I love it that the Mannings have set this structured plan of how to handle recruiting right now. Mm-hmm. Because the last thing Arch needs is everyone telling him how great he is and him getting comfortable and getting caught into that. It's about the work.
Because you know he already gets it at school.
It's about the work. It's just about getting better every single day. That's the most important thing for these recruits. And some of them don't understand that. They think, let me put this little video clip out of myself doing some drills and make people think that I'm actually putting in work.
When they're really not.
Just go do it. Just go do the work. Just go do it. And then when it's time for you to play at the college level, your work will show for itself. Your work will show for itself. These recruits, which fan base can get me to 1,000 followers? Who gives a damn? You want to play football or do you want to be recruited? Because there's a difference. Do you want to play football or do you want to be recruited? There's folks that want to be recruited so much that when they get the offer, when they sign at the school, they get to the school and they're not hungry anymore. They're just happy with just being recruited, getting a scholarship. Or do you want to play football? People who want to play football have a thirst to improve each and every day to be the best football player they can be. And you don't need to tell the world that every single day on Twitter.
No, and if you are a 5-star prospect like Zachary Evans, and not that Zachary Evans does this because I don't even believe he has social media, but just using his status as an example, his ranking as an example, we don't need to know that you got an offer from Eastern Kentucky. You're not going to Eastern Kentucky. You're going to Alabama, Georgia, or Tennessee. We don't need to know that you got an offer from Eastern Kentucky and Marshall and New Mexico State. You're tweeting that out there for clout. We have another Antonio Brown apology on Instagram. He posted a photo of him and Ben Roethlisberger and said, and again, these are his words, not mine. I am quoting Antonio Brown. Mostly you, a little bit of me, yee. I never realized how good I had it. Got caught up in my emotion with everyone coming after me. I really apologize for my actions. Sincerely, man. It's never been another connection like what we done in the past decade. I appreciate you. Sincerely, AB. What I want to know is, did you call him before you posted this? Did you call him and apologize before you posted this on social media?
Hey, B out here begging like Keith Sweat, man, on R&B track. It's over, AB. Don't try to be his friend now. Don't try to beg to come back now. It's over. It's over.
Oh, the Steelers will take me back. Nope.
But then he also tweeted, AB plus abuse is abuse. Trying to play victim, I guess, again. Just go to the XFL. Just go to the XFL. They could use some ratings. Even though they had some pretty good ratings in their first weekend. 865-255-03. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
It's your boy, Big Will, from Old Ben Franklin Motors, Alcoa, Tennessee, 911 Louisville Road. Yes, it's the holiday season again. Uncle Sam season, y'all. Income tax time. It's the holiday. So bring your last check stub or your W-2 to 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee, Old Ben Franklin Motors. Come see Big Will. And we're going to give you a free vacation if you buy a car. Bring your W-2 or your last check stub. I said the 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee, Open Franklin Motors. Ask for Big Wheel. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Guess what? You know we gonna get you approved. Call me now, 865-980-8216. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Set up your appointment and we will get you approved. Turn down for what?
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
How much can we really throw Mel Tucker under the bus? How much can we really criticize Mel Tucker here?
A lot. It doesn't matter how much he gets paid. He's still a hypocrite by what he said.
What did he say again? Because I just saw the numbers around his Michigan State contract, and I kind of lost sight.
It was, there's not a transfer portal in the real world.
Yeah, there is, Mel. Still a transfer portal in the real world. But, so, originally Mel said no to Michigan State. Mm-hmm. And there's ties, too, because Mel Tucker was on Nick Saban's staff there as a young coach. According to the Athletics' Bruce Feldman, Michigan State will pay, quote, more than double the $2.675 million salary that Mel Tucker made at Colorado. So, y'all, Ben, you listening?
I'm listening.
We talking more than $5.2 million, like more than doubling his salary. How do you say no if you're Mel Tucker?
I'm not blaming him for saying no. It's a better opportunity for him and his family, but he still sounds like a hypocrite because
he does.
He is doing what is best for him, and in a majority of the cases with players who enter the transfer portal, they're doing what's best for them.
He should have never said anything about the transfer portal.
Just like Justin Fuente and
should have never said anything.
Randy Edsel.
Should have never said anything about the transfer portal. Never. Because who is turning down a job that's in the field that you're currently in that's going to pay you more than double? That'd be one thing if, like, all right, I'm doing radio and Waste Management called me up. It's like, hey, we want to pay you double what you're making. I'm still going to think about it. I don't know if I want to be a garbage man. I was just saying. It's been raining all week. I don't know if I want to be handling garbage in the rain. I don't know. I'm going to think about that one. But if, like, another radio business called me up and said, hey, we want to double your salary, all right, let's talk. Mel Tucker should have never said anything about the transfer portal.
Are you going to take me with you?
Oh, yeah, always. He should have never said anything about the transfer portal. That's why he's getting made fun of. Because who wouldn't leave? $2.675 million to over 5.3?
And Michigan State is a better job than Colorado.
Yeah, and like Colorado was at the bottom of the Pac-12 as far as assistant coaches pool. His salary for pools was $3.155 according to the Denver Post here. Was higher than only two other Pac-12 public schools. Of course Mel Tucker should have went to Michigan State. Come on now. But you can't throw shade on the kids hitting the transfer portal because that's just what you just did. Like, you just did that, Mel Tucker.
So are you hinting at something about another radio entity calling you up?
No, I'm just making an example.
I don't know, because the king of the South may not be on ESPN's airwaves much longer. According to a report from Sports Business Daily.
I saw where, like, he's been talking to different networks about
a sitcom based on his life, where he would leave ESPN and the SEC network.
Maybe that's why he hasn't had me on the show this year.
Sources indicate Feinbaum is exploring the potential of beginning a startup modeled after The Ringer, or potentially taking his popular call-in show and sound bites to Sports Illustrated, DAZN, or Fox Sports at the end of his current contract with ESPN.
At the end of 2020 football season. That's what I saw.
They met with all four major networks to gauge interest in a sitcom about the 64-year-old radio TV personality, his call-in show, and its many colorful characters. A sitcom is one of several opportunities Feinbaum is exploring as he nears the end of his contract at ESPN. Feinbaum's $5 million 3-year deal runs through next summer, but sources say he could leave as early as the end of the 2020 college football season. Feinbaum makes more money than Jeremy Pruitt. That's absurd.
Yeah.
But ESPN also has the money.
Yeah, the reason why he makes more than Jeremy Pruitt, because there's only one Paul Feinbaum who can do what he can do, and there's a ton of Jeremy Pruitts.
There's only one Jeremy Pruitt.
Who can coach football in the SEC.
There's only one Jeremy Pruitt.
Whatever.
How many bald men who don't know about asparagus
He knows about asparagus.
From Northeast Alabama can you find?
He does know about asparagus now.
True.
He does.
That'd be a big change. No, I was.
I want to know. I want to see this because I want to see the point in the sitcom where he was a Tennessee graduate and was covering the team, and then it went sour because that happened in real life. Like,
And then became a Bama fan? That part?
I'm not gonna say all that, but his relationship with Tennessee went sour at some point when Johnny Majors was the coach, and I want to see that played out. Let me see that.
That would be interesting.
Who's going to play Johnny Majors?
Did you see where
Maybe Johnny Majors.
Speaking of Feinbaum and Johnny Majors and Tennessee, not Bobby Petrino, but former Indiana coach Bob Knight. He returned to Bloomington over the weekend, and Feinbaum on Monday tweeted out a graphic of the 5 reunions makeups that he would like to see, and number 1 on the list was Philip Fulmer and Johnny Majors.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I would like to see that too, but
I don't think that's going to happen.
It's a shame. It's been a little internal battles like that around here. Ain't the only one. And it's a shame because I know how both guys feel about Tennessee. And you would think that them coming together and squashing whatever problem could happen after almost 30 years ago, but my goodness.
Philip Fulmer and Johnny Majors was number 1, and they didn't list it in number 1, number 2, number 3. It was just the first one at the top of the list. Nick Saban and Lane Kiffin, Urban Meyer and Florida, and then Feinbaum and Jim from Tuscaloosa, whatever.
Urban Meyer was at he was at the Ohio State game. No, Urban Meyer was at a Florida game this year.
Was he?
Yeah.
I remember him going to the Redskins game.
He was at a Florida game wearing, I want to say, Florida gear.
Yep, that was one of the responses. Urban Meyer literally was at a Florida game in Florida gear with Steve Spurrier.
Yeah, I knew I wasn't crazy.
And then another fan responded and said, Meyer has put it behind him. He and Shelly both have love for the Gators. She was posting on Twitter during the Florida-Georgia game.
Yeah.
Also, when did Saban and Lane Kiffin become such a... There's not as much bad blood between Saban and Lane Kiffin as there is between Johnny Majors and Philip Fulmer.
Oh,
it's not even close.
No, it's not close at all. But Nick Saban did fire Lane Kiffin right before the national championship game, and Lane Kiffin keeps picking at Nick Saban.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily I don't know. I just don't view that one in the same light as I do.
Well, it's not. That's why it's not first.
Yeah, you're right.
Bruce Feldman, more than double the annual salary Tucker made in his lone season at Colorado. So here on the text box, Birmingham Mike says, I thought it was $5 million over 3 years. I mean, the way I'm reading this, unless I'm crazy, the Big Ten school will more than double the $2.675 million annual salary. Annual means yearly.
It does?
I mean, that's how I'm reading this thing.
Last time that I checked.
And I don't blame Mel Tucker one bit for leaving to go to Michigan State. He just should have never said anything about the transfer portal.
Nope. Do you think Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator, former Colorado player, assistant?
He's a former Colorado player. He played running back at Colorado, and he already tried that. He was the offense coordinator for Colorado when. Remember, he left the NFL when he was just a running backs coach. He was a running backs coach, I want to say, with the Vikings and Coach Adrian Peterson, or he's with the Chiefs and just a running back coach before he was offensive coordinator. And then when one of his teammates got the Colorado job, I think it was before Mike McIntyre, he joined him to be the offensive coordinator. It fell apart, and then Bieniemy came back to the NFL. I don't know if Bieniemy would want to go to college. He needs to be an NFL head coach.
He's going to. I know there's been a lot of talk about his situation, and I tend to agree. But he will receive a head coaching opportunity at some point. He will. You know he will.
A little fishy that he hasn't, though.
I know my Pittsburgh Steelers would be more than happy to hire him if anything ever happened to Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin ain't going nowhere.
No.
But a little fishy, though. A little fishy.
It's fishy, but I guarantee you within the next 2 years, It should have happened this offseason. It should happen next offseason. But within the next couple of years, he will.
We'll see.
He will have a job. Birmingham Mike was talking about Feinbaum when he made that comment about $5 million over 3 years.
Feinbaum.
I don't know. I was just reading what the article said, and it said $5 million.
Yeah, I don't know if he might not be making more than Pruitt, but he's still making a whole lot of money, and he's super valuable because people listen to Feinbaum. They listen to him.
Yep. He, according to Google, Feinbaum is in the midst of a 3-year, $5 million contract, so he is not making more than.
Yeah. So there it is. Birmingham Mike, right. D.R. Vol, think Tucker will try to get his D-line coach back? No. I think Brumbaugh is happy about being back in the SEC. So, likes working for Mel Tucker out there in Colorado, but he's in the SEC. He's back in the SEC. So, I don't think there's going to be any movement there. But I'll say it, and then he'll be going to Michigan State, knowing my luck.
You can't trust these coaches.
These coaches ain't loyal.
That's what I was thinking.
These coaches ain't loyal. Hey, hey, hey. These coaches ain't loyal.
Colorado's mascot, Chip the Buffalo. While I am flattered to be considered for so many mascot jobs across the country after my title, I am committed to @CU Buffs for hashtag the build of our program. It's great athletes, coaches, and supporters. Hashtag unfinished business. Hashtag go Buffs. We are hashtag relentless. Hashtag false promises. Hashtag man of my word.
Yeah, Mel Tucker won't live that down, man.
Well done.
But I understand.
Chip the Buffalo. Well done.
I understand.
Yep. Got to say what you have to say in that moment in time.
I understand. Yeah. Eric Bieniemy already coached at Colorado. Wasn't a head coach, but if I'm Eric Bieniemy, I'm not going to Colorado. He's an NFL coach. I would stay in the NFL. That's what I would do if I'm Bieniemy. Butch Jones needs to be the first choice if you're Colorado. Remember, you tried to hire him before. Now, he did lie to you. Butch is known to do that. But you got to look past that. He won 9 games twice here at Tennessee. Think about that first. Remember, when Butch was at Cincinnati, he was going to Colorado. Even so, that Peyton Manning, who was a Denver Bronco, had called Butch Jones and talked to Butch Jones about Colorado, was selling Colorado to Butch Jones. Butch Jones, there's a story about him being in the airport and hiding behind a cart because he did not want to be seen because he was trying to get the Tennessee job.
He's so ridiculous. Hiding behind a cart in the airport.
And so he got the Tennessee job and kind of left Colorado out to dry. They probably still remember that, and they may not want to talk to Butch Jones. But if you're Colorado, who else you going to get right now? It's after signing day. What coach is going to leave their situation, their team, their program at this point, unless you're willing to pay them $4 million? The only reason Michigan State got Mel Tucker is because they opened up the checkbook. They backed up the Brinks truck. So are you going to make it worthwhile for someone to leave their program a week after signing day? Your best bet is hiring Butch Jones, who is not coaching a team right now. You can just slide on in. I should be Butch Jones' agent.
Thankfully, I did not have any dreams about Butch Jones last night.
Right quick. After South Carolina beat UConn, Gino Auriemma talked to the media about the game. And while he was very complimentary of South Carolina and Dawn Staley and the job that she's doing in South Carolina, he used some choice words. He used the GD word and saying, aren't we allowed to lose a GD game? And I was like, whoa. When is the last time you have heard a coach at any level during a press conference say that?
Gino.
I've never heard a coach say that. I've heard a coach say F word, the S word, other words. Not the GD. Not that one. That word is off limits in a lot of households. Some places you can't say that one. You can't put that combination together. No siree. And Gino did it. Whew. I know someone who would never do that. Pat Summer would never do that. Never do that.
Ever.
Most coaches will not do that in that public forum. At practice, film study, oh yeah. They're dropping it. But you can't do that in that form. That's not a good look at all. Not a good look. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Hope you have a great Wednesday. The Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue, Hour 3, powered by Low T Center, lowtcenter.com. Peace and love. We are out.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com.